So tell me about yourself. For some interviewees, talking about themselves and their accomplishments comes totally natural to them. And for others, this question is a complete nightmare. In this video, we're going to go over impressive answers when you need to respond to, so tell me about yourself in your next job interview. Now, let's talk about you. What interviewers want to know. Almost all interviews start with this question. It's an icebreaker and a way to ease you both into the interview process. Additionally, if you answer it in a strategic way, it can help shape the follow-up questions. While you might be tempted to share a longer answer to give the full, quote, context, we really don't recommend this, and it definitely isn't going to create the first impression you want. For starters, you might only have 20 to 30 minutes with the interviewer, and you don't want to spend the majority of the time on one question. You want to share enough about yourself in this initial question to humanize yourself, but the goal is for the interviewer to also know what your skills are, the results you've gotten in your past roles, etc. Think about it like this. Share a little glitter and a lot of glue. Glitter is the personal stuff, and glue is the stuff that sticks for the job, your skills, your qualifications, and how you're a fit for all of it. How to prepare to answer, tell me about yourself. Open-ended questions are naturally intimidating because they can go a lot of different directions. It's essential to share information that is going to be relevant to the interviewer. For example, maybe you're interviewing for a job in project management, and your first job out of college was in events. You could talk about the job that you had 5 years ago, or you could focus on talking about your current job in business development and your side hustle running your own podcast, which requires a lot of project management. Picking and choosing what to share and knowing what will be relevant can also be made easier when you prep the following. What made you interested in the job originally? What skills does the job ask for that you have or can connect the dots between? What do you know about the company and company culture? What strengths do you have that are required for this role? Why are you interested in this company or industry? How does this job tie into your future goals? Is there something unique about your background that makes you stand out in the interview process? As we start to discuss how to answer this question, keep your answers to the list above in mind. They will help you decide what parts of your professional story make the most sense to share. How to answer, so tell me about yourself in an interview. To prepare, start by thinking about 3 to 5 strong and relevant adjectives that describe you and your values. Instead of telling the interviewer that you are a bold problem solver, give real examples of how you embody those descriptors. Certainly, you can mention hobbies or interests in your explanation, but keep them relative to the job. Here's our simple formula, a 4-step process for answering this question as it pertains to the job and organization at hand. Number 1, mention your past experiences plus current job. Mention your past experiences and current job as they pertain to the job at hand. You might be surprised to discover how many transferable experiences you have. Assess your skills, passions, and experiences and relate them to the job for which you are interviewing. The goal here is to lay a foundation for the interviewer that showcases your relevant achievements and responsibilities up to this point. For example, if you work as an administrative assistant, but you're interviewing for a social media role, describe how you took over your company's Instagram and tripled the followers in a few months' time. Share with the interviewer how you'd love to learn new things, so you took it upon yourself to learn all about Instagram growth trends. Number 2, tie those learnings into what you want to be doing going forward. Any employer or hiring manager is going to want to take someone who has experiences that led to real, quantifiable growth and/or results. When you're determining what past experiences to share, choose one that has a story attached to it. A story with a climax and a solution that you reach. With this tip, you're building on the foundation you started in the first tip by summarizing the results you've gotten and how they helped you prepare for the job you're applying to. And that's not all. When recounting your glorious tales of workplace wins, make sure to also recount 1 or 2 major learnings from it. If you can attach data, numbers, or percentages to your wins, do it. Number 3, mention your strengths and accomplishments. Think of a story where you uncovered a lucrative opportunity through research and learning. Share an instance where you problem solved on your own to reach a conclusion that helped the entire team. Think about how your personality plays into how you work. For example, if you describe yourself as a creative problem solver, expand on that. How have you used your creative problem solving skills to save the day in the past? Number 4, include a tidbit about you. Have a little fun in the interview, but not too much, by infusing a little bit about your personality off the clock. For example, if the company has a mission statement that is deeply involved with education, consider mentioning how you recently learned how to throw clay in a pottery class or how you volunteered to tutor kids in math on the weekend. By the end of this interview process, your interviewers should know what you do currently and how it's relevant to the job and company, plus your past results or achievements, and why all of this makes you a fit for the current job. Using the STAR method to answer, so tell me about yourself. You can also use STAR, which stands for situation, task, action, result, to answer more behavioral interview questions like, so tell me about yourself. So again, that's situation, what is the story you're trying to tell? Task, what was your role in the situation? Action, how did you apply your own skills to the situation? Result, what outcome did your actions achieve? Do not end your story without a result. Do's and don'ts of what to say. Here's a quick checklist of do's and don'ts to keep in mind when you're trying to answer, tell me about yourself in a job interview. This is not an invitation to talk about a particular job you hate or your weekend plans. Rather, your answers should add color to your career path, your technical skills, your strengths, and what sets you apart. Do. Keep your responses concise and to the point. Discuss your current role and connect how it aligns with the job you're interviewing for. Talk about your qualifications, strengths, and results with information you can quantify. Avoid mentioning super personal information. Showcase what makes you unique from other candidates. Be specific about why this role and company align with both your skills and career goals. Humanize yourself and let your personality shine through. Practice and prep ahead of time. Don't. Share your whole personal life story in this one question. Read your resume verbatim. Ramble and spit out a bunch of jargon that you can't back up with details. Be a robot and share your answer word for word. Forget to review the job description. Make this all about why you need the job. Instead, focus on how you can add value to the role and company. Examples of interview answers for tell me about yourself. We love examples and put together a few sample answers to help you get some ideas brewing. Tell me about yourself answer number 1. I'm currently working for a family-run online media company where I wear many different hats. The hat that gets me the most excited is anything marketing related. We recently launched a podcast to attract new sales leads to our SEO product. I was tasked with launching the podcast, including content development, project management, branding, editing, and producing. To help, I enrolled in a few online courses, and I interviewed a few podcasters in a similar field to get their best tips. I'm happy to report that the podcast has been running for 6 months, and so far it has brought in $30,000 of additional sales. Launching and tracking the success of this project is why I was so excited to learn about the marketing opportunity at Wondery Podcast Network. Additionally, I love that Wondery produces scripted series and has moved into a subscription model. With my enthusiasm for podcasts and my skills working on multiple projects, I think I'm going to be a unique fit for your project manager opening. Tell me about yourself. Answer example 2. When I was a kid, I used to go through the real estate section of the paper every Sunday. In college, I had an internship with a realtor, and most recently, I enrolled in some design programs to learn CAD so I could mock up interior design ideas for me and my friends. All of this to say, I love good design and the quality behind how things are built. In my current job, I'm working for a nonprofit where I help with fundraising. In the 2 years I've been there, I've grown our database of donors by 8% and created our first online fundraising event, a complete pivot from the in-person event we did for 15 years. And I'm happy to share that we raised $100,000 more than our original goal. Between my appreciation for design and my knack for building relationships, I believe I'm a great fit for this sales role at Kennedy Real Estate Agency. I have no doubt that I can bring value to this organization and help break new sales goals with the team. Tell me about yourself. Answer example 3. I currently work in public relations for a large bank where I work on product launches and work collaboratively with agencies, designers, product managers, and our internal comms team. My biggest accomplishment was launching Marcus by Goldman Sachs, our consumer banking tool that got 1 million signups in the first 30 days. Working on this consumer product launch has made me excited to do more of them. When I saw this job opportunity, I jumped at the opportunity to apply, and I think my past experiences working at a large company can add a lot of value to a growing startup.